Yeah, Shalom Akim, Kahala Imna, Yahaba Shim Yasha Bashir Hakudash, and double honest agreements on apostles. Thadi Hasha, for the strength and all to make this video. And Yara Tazar, they also edified, man, and built up in the spirit. This one's the part 2 to the previous video, layers of judgment and setups as 2025 begins. Because, really it's just me summarizing, what's happened recently. A few new ones came in as well. So Yaratazar, I'm gonna get some of that too. You got UK stabbings going on. New Orleans, California just had a fire as well recently. They were live streaming that on one of the news outlets. You got also winter storms as well going on, not just in the UK but also in America as well. A whole load of things are happening, man. A whole load of things are happening. But Yaratazar, I'm gonna continue with this video. As I stopped it last time. But let me just recap the previous precept that I got. Just to remind the point here. Spirits of vengeance. Again, that's Ecclesiasticus 39 and 28. So Deuteronomy 32 and 39. See now that I, even I, am he, and there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that deliver out of mine hand. Yeah, Khan. So that's the point, man. The Most High is the one of whom actually brings death to people. Man. He holds the issues of death, as it says in Psalm 68 and 20. But let's continue on there, because this guy, as I mentioned in the previous video, he had the spirit of vengeance upon him, and there's gonna be a whole load of them. It's just gonna be, is that when that military tactics where they say, okay, we're gonna send in wave 1. And then wave 2 is a little bit harder. Then wave 3 goes harder. And it just keeps going harder and harder, man. I'm talking about the intensity of each wave from a military standpoint. Wave 1 could be a certain amount of soldiers. Wave 2, double the amount. Wave 3 could be triple or quadruple the amount. This is the way it's rolling right here with these spirits of vengeance, man. You think this is hard right now? This is intense right now? Watch as the year progresses, man. Just watch. These spirits are just going to be ramping up. Again, as Ecclesiasticus 39 to 28 says, to appease the wrath of him that made them, which is Yahweh. Yahweh made those spirits. All right, let's continue.
Police evacuated a wide area and say they found a potential explosive device in the truck and other possible devices outside it before they carried out controlled explosions. The FBI says the attack is being investigated as an act of terrorism. At the latest press conference, officials have given more information about the suspect.
The subject has been identified as 42-year-old Samsud Dim Jabbar, a U.S.-born citizen from Texas. He was driving a Ford pickup truck, which appears to be rented, and we are working to confirm how the subject became in possession of this vehicle. An ISIS flag was located on the trailer hitch of the vehicle, and the FBI is working to determine the subject's potential associations and affiliations with terrorist organizations.
Investigators are scouring the scene for clues as further details emerge about Shamsuddin Jabbar, including his U.S. military background. This afternoon, President Biden gave his reaction.
I've spoken to every member of the agency, from the CIA to our national security team, to our FBI, NSC, and we're gathering all the. And I spent a lot of time with the government, with the mayor.
What was your reaction when you heard what happened?
Well, the reaction was one of anger and frustration. Thank you.
He says the White House is offering its.
Esau Eden is a joke, man. I can't lie. You just look at Biden. He's just. Of course, all of this is all just for show, anyways, because he's not actually in power. Because the way it works, where in America, before the actual president of whom just got elected is actually in the rulership position, so-called rulership position, because we all know that the ones who actually have power are the ones who are unseen. Those are secret families, which by now those who are in the know, they would know those names. The Rothschilds, Oppenheimers, Soros, and names of that sort. In fact, even the Rothschilds, they came from the Borgia family, man. I learned that recently from Apostle Gabar. Of course, that also requires some more research there too, man. So I can bring out more information. But the point is, these are the families, of whom are actually ruling, the land of America and can be seen as the elites of Esau Edom, man. Not people like Joe Biden. You got Boris Johnson. Liz Truss in the UK. She ruled for, I don't even know how long she ruled for, but but that was for a few months. But these Edomites, or female rulers, are presidents and prime ministers. In all these countries, they're just puppets, to be controlled by the ones who actually truly have the power, or whom are actually unseen. They typically are unseen, man. So yeah, man, really you can liken these presidents and prime ministers onto actors as well. But at the end of the day, they're just fulfilling their part in Esau's agenda, which is ultimately the Most High's will.
Full support to the city, which is now ushering in the new year, grieving its dead and praying for the wounded. And he says the White House
The people just passing by, they were looking in fear, and this is just a warm-up.
Is offering its full support to the city, which is now ushering in the new year, grieving its dead and praying.
Especially that woman there, man. Look at her face. Oh my days. That face is like you just seen a spirit, man, or even you just seen a demon or apparition or something. How much more when the actual apparition starts to show up, man? My days. But yeah, that was a spirit of vengeance, man. People will feel fear. Fear will increase. Fear of Yahweh Hashem Yeshua will increase, man. Even fear in general will increase, man, in this year.
For the wounded.
And Tom, just talk to us a little bit more about the feeling there in the city, the mood.
Well, there is an inevitable sense of shock, of course. I was just chatting to one man on the sidewalk here who said that he was in the French Quarter exactly the point at which all of this happened, just an hour before it took place, speaking of his sense of relief, but also wanting to return to this point, as many others have actually, to try and pay their respects, but also get a sense of the developments as they're unfolding. It's also worth noting, though, that, this is an extremely bustling and very popular place full of bars, nightlife. And we have seen and we heard.
Yeah, man, bars, nightlife. That's where the demons. What's the word? Well, that's where they collate together, if that's even the right term to say. But that's where they gather together, man. Demons gather in bars and nightlifes, man, and then that's when judgments can happen too. Spirits of vengeance are lurking by those areas too, man. So, all these crowdy areas, man, especially them concerts. My gosh. Anyways, that's the point of this one. Yaratazar. Let me get the other video. This one was the other one that I mentioned. It says about I'm not even sure if I even went into details early on in this video. But this one's the other clip where I was talking about. Well, I'm mentioning it right now. It says, boy 14 stabbed to death on bus in broad daylight. Horror as manhunt launched for killer. So yeah, I think I just mentioned about, in the UK having some things going on too, man. Spirits of vengeance are everywhere, man. Everywhere. They're ramping it up in all these different locations. So don't just think it's just America. You got UK, man. Let's even read the description here. It says a schoolboy has been stabbed to death in broad daylight on a bus, with cops launching a desperate manhunt to find his attacker. Police and paramedics rushed to the double-decker bus in Woolwich, southeast London, at around 2:30 p.m. today. So, in fact, when was this video? Oh, it says 17 hours ago, so that was yesterday. Because today is the 8th, yesterday is the 7th. All right, but yeah, the point is, that's what happened, man. Spirit of vengeances are everywhere, man. If you're gonna summarize the video, it's really by Ecclesiasticus 39 and 28, man. Spirits made for vengeance, and obviously Deuteronomy 32 and 39. I kill and I make alive. But yeah, I'm gonna bring out some precepts after I play this video as well, man.
Joe Haddon reporting here from Woolwich in south-east London, where earlier this afternoon a 14-year-old boy was tragically fatally stabbed on a London bus. As you can see, the double-decker bus is just there behind me. Joe Haddon reporting here from Woolwich in south-east London, where earlier this afternoon a 14-year-old boy was tragically fatally stabbed on a London bus. As you can see, the double-decker bus is just there behind me. Forensics officers with torches, you can still see them on the lower deck trying to pick up any remaining evidence that they can find. Police have just done a press conference where they've told us that they haven't made any arrests yet.
I'm very sad to say that this afternoon a 14-year-old boy has died following an incident in Woolwich. Police were called at just before 2:30 p.m. to reports of a stabbing on a bus. The incident occurred on a route 472 bus on Woolwich Church Road, near the junction with the A205 South Circular Road. Officers attended along with the London Ambulance Service and the London Air Ambulance. The initial alert was raised by a local officer out on patrol. Paramedics treated a 14-year-old boy at the scene who had received stab wounds. But really sadly, he died shortly after medics arrived. Our thoughts at the time were with the victim's family and friends. This is a horrendous crime and I can't imagine what they must be going through right now. No arrests have been made at this early stage.
Yeah, man, but that's really the point right there, man. Hold on, let me see.
I would urge anyone who witnessed this horrific incident or has any...
That's the point right there, man. This is why, you know, when the apostles say, elder brothers say we gotta be praying, you know, it's for things like this, man. We gotta have protection, have faith that Yahweh Shem Yashai will protect us as we pray unto him. You know, you gotta pray, what does it say? Without having doubt or something. I think that's in like James 1 and 5. But let me get this one first. Pray without ceasing, man. Pray without ceasing. Just get judgment upon judgment. That's why I named the video Layers of Judgment, man. Because there's just going to be judgment upon judgment upon judgment upon judgment. All these different locations that are going to be happening. Hold on. Oh, this 1 Thessalonians 5 gets to the point, though. Yeah, that's really the point, really. But yeah, that straight to the point. That like literally pinpoint. First Thessalonians 5 and 17. Pray without ceasing. That's literally it. You know, you just go straight to the point. Pray without ceasing, which means don't stop when you pray. Of course, this means at a continuous basis, man. Daily, you gotta be praying. Frequently throughout the day, you also pray as well. When you're about to go outside, you pray. When you come back inside, you say, Thawde how Thawde Yashai, for protecting me as I've arrived in my house, man. You know, as you eat, before you eat, you pray. You know, after you eat as well, Thawde how Thawde Yashai, Kaya, bringing me the food, man. You know, you could pray multiple times, man. That's the thing. You know, praying, thanking him. You know, praying for your protection, praying for the protection of the brotherhood, and praying for faith as well, praying for wisdom, praying for strength for the brotherhood. There's multiple things you can pray, man. Hence why when it says pray without ceasing, that's at a continuous basis, man. At a continuous basis. So that's why, you know, and remember, prayer is our weapons, man. You know, remember the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but rather spiritual. You know, let's get that as well. Weapons of our warfare. I didn't type that right. Weapons of our warfare. They're spiritual, they're not carnal, man. So 2 Corinthians 10 and 4, it says, for the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, so it's not of the flesh, it's not physical, but mighty through the Most High in the pulling down of strongholds, man. You know, we got spiritual weapons, not physical weapons, man. That's the thing. You know, we got prayer, we got fasting, you know, as our two weapons, again, when fighting against demons, you know, as Yahushua said, this cometh out but by prayer and fasting. Yeah, because those are our two weapons of which we know we have faith in, man. Now, where's that one that I said in James, man? Was it called Without Doubt? Should be in James somewhere. Hold on. Oh, actually, maybe it's Doubting Nothing. Doubting Nothing. If it be so. You know what? Let me actually go to James 1 and see. Here it is. Probably James 1 and 7. James 1 and 7. Yeah, that's the key part. That's the key part. Hold on. I'll read from verse 5. Yeah, I'll read from verse 5. I'll read verse 5 and 6. So James 1 and 5. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of the Most High that giveth to all men liberally, which means freely, upbraideth not, and it shall be given him. But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering. For he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed. You're able to be shaken up. So when you ask of something of Yahweh Shimi Ashai, you got to ask with faith and not have any doubt, man. Which, of course, as you enter into the ministry, as you start out, as a little baby, drinking milk, your faith needs to be built up, man. Every brother has their journey, to build up their faith even more and more and more and more, man. Which, of course, is a requirement as we're in this flesh as well. So it says, but let him ask in faith, nothing wavering, man. So that even shows right there, the ultimate level of faith is just to just know that, it's done, That's literally what Aman means. Aman means, which, the world says amen, in the churches and whatnot. But yeah, Aman is the ancient Hebrew form, which means so be true, So when you say your prayer and then you say Aman, so be true, you fully got to believe it, man, that it is true. When you pray for that wisdom, or you pray for help to Yahweh Shimi Ashai, you got to believe that it's true, man. Now, of course, you got to also have wisdom too, to discern that, that's according to the Most High's timing for you to get that, whatever you're supposed to receive, man. Whatever you've prayed for, whether it be financial help, if you're in that type of situation, if it be more wisdom, if it be more faith, you got to believe that that it's done, man. The Rakia Bashim Mashai, but you also have to have the discernment, to have the patience to receive it whenever the Most High wills it, man. You just got to believe that it's done, nothing wavering, as it says here. The same way when we pray, Baukusha, 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 Yahweh, Baukusha, Yahweh Shai, Samakya, as I go outside, which Samakya means to secure me or protect me as we go outside, as we come back as well, for you and the brotherhood, even just for yourself as well, you say your prayers, man, for you, the brotherhood. That's the point. And you say it with nothing wavering. And the more you do it, the more you'll solidify that faith, man. To just know. It's the same. I always love to bring it out, man. When you got Yahushua, when the disciples asked him, I think that's in like Luke 10 or something, why couldn't we cast out this demon? Because this kind don't go out but by prayer and fasting. And he said before he mentioned prayer and fasting as the major weapons, he mentioned because of your lack of unbelief, man. That's the thing. So you got to be able to just know, I remember Apostle Gabar also made a video based on visualization, because visualization actually helps on actually seeing it in your mind first to believe it, man. Believing really is seeing it in your mind prior to it actually happening. The same way we see Yahushua coming, we believe that would happen through visualization. And that was a beautiful lesson, man. That was a beautiful lesson. That was like a few days ago that Apostle Gabar made that video. I'm not sure if it was 1 or 2 days ago, but yeah, it was quite recent though. All right, let's go back to the thing. Let me see something just to check, and then if I don't see it, then I'm gonna just go back to the video here. This is why I've got to pray, man. Pray without ceasing, as 1 Thessalonians 5 mentions, man. Pray without ceasing. Hold on. Okay. Your unbelief. Right. So it's Matthew 17, eh? Oh yeah, this was based on the discernment. I mean, the removal of it, the removal of the demon from the lunatic. You know, from a father who brought their son out. All right, let me go back to this video, man.
Funny thing about tomorrow, never.
Yeah, got advert there. Actually, the video is pretty much done, man. So Yara Tazan, let me go on to the next one. You know, just trying to hit it with quick fire on this one. Actually, hold on. Let me read this first. Yara Tazar. Then I'm gonna get to the other video too. Got like about 3 videos, even 4 videos left. But yeah, man, this is pretty much a summary. Layers of judgment, man. Things are happening out here, man. All you gotta do is just turn on the news. You're gonna hear, oh, this person just got sent to the spiritual realm. Another person got sent to the spiritual realm. A whole bunch of people just got sent to the spiritual realm. You know, pretty much vessels vessels are being left on the ground, man. They're returning back to the earth. All right, let's see. All right, so Matthew 17. I want to see, where am I going to start? All right, from verse 14. Matthew 17 and 14. And when they were come to the multitude, there came to him a certain man kneeling down to him, saying, Lord, have mercy on my son, for he is lunatic and sore vexed, for oft times he falleth into fire and often into water. So let's just say he was seen as a crazy guy, a crazy person. And he was bugged out by demons, which made him, of course, be a done-out case. He wasn't reasoning properly, in other words. So it says here, I brought him to thy disciples, and they could not cure him. So yeah, the man actually went to the disciples, and then the disciples couldn't do it. We're going to know why they couldn't do it soon, man. Which is what we got to work on as well. You know, so this was a learning process for us too, man. You'll feel my reading the scriptures too. So then Yahushua answered and said, O faithless and perverse generation, how long shall I be with ye? How long shall I suffer you? Bring him hither to me. You know, so it says it in verse 18, and Yahushua rebuked the devil. He departed out of it, and the child was cured from that very hour. Then came the disciples to Yahushua apart and said, why could not we cast him out? So, you know, Yahushua rebuked the devil. He casted out the devil. The devil went out of, you know, the spirit went out of the child, and then he was cured that very hour, man. You know the amount of faith that was required on Yahushua's end in order to do that as well. Now, and belief in order to do that. Now, this is the key part, because the disciples just asked in verse 19, Matthew 17 and 19, then came the disciples to Yahushua apart and said, why could not we cast him out? So why couldn't we cast him out then? They were asking Yahushua, man. And Yahushua gave a plain answer. This is verse 20. And Yahushua said unto them, because of your unbelief. For verily I say unto you, if ye have faith as a grain of mustard seed, ye shall say unto this mountain, remove hence to yonder place, and it shall remove, and nothing shall be impossible unto you. And it says in verse 21, howbeit this kind goeth not but by prayer and fasting, man. And there's levels to this, man. There's levels. That's the thing. There's levels to faith. There's levels to belief. As Yahushua said, he gave them the plain answer, man. So the reason why the disciples couldn't do it is because of their lack of belief, man, or their unbelief for them to be able to do so. Which means in a time where Yahushua did say that greater work shall ye do, we gotta have our belief, solidified, man, our faith solidified that we can do these works through Yahushua who's given us the Spirit, or a Kodash. And you gotta have faith that he also give you the Spirit in order to perform those miracles too, in that time to come. So yeah, man, as the scriptures say, everything written aforetime written for our learning. Roughly paraphrasing that one. So yeah, the key part, as I said before he said prayer and fasting, which are basically deadly spiritual weapons, man, very potent spiritual weapons. He said because of unbelief and faith, which therefore means that the tools that we would need is belief and faith, man. That's the thing, which go hand in hand, by the way. Faith and belief. So yeah. It says, remove hence yonder place, and it shall remove, and nothing shall be impossible unto you. So whatever demons may be, trying to play with you, you can overcome them. As the scriptures say, don't rejoice that the spirits are subject unto you, but your names are written in heaven. The thing is, people typically miss out the part where it says the spirits are subject unto you. Which also talks about the demons are really under you, man. You can't be fearing demons. You gotta fear Yahushua, who has power over those demons. And Yahushua has given you power over them, as he said in the scriptures. So we gotta believe these precepts, man. We have to believe it. And of course, this is a message for myself as well, so that my faith gets built up too, man. That's why I always love to bring up Matthew 17, man. This scripture right here, because it's one of those fundamental scriptures that teaches you, about having belief, having faith, in Yahushua, man. And just knowing, believing in the ability, the power that he's giving you, man. Even just the fact that we're understanding the scriptures, that in itself, is a reward, man. Is a potent tool, that is given us. Harachah Kodash, which means the Holy Spirit. We've got to maintain faith and belief, man. So when this death is happening, you gotta keep, of course, this is what did the scriptures say? Through the terror of the Lord we persuade men. Yeah, that's one of them as well. But the point is that we gotta maintain faith in Yahweh Shem Yashai, that he will protect us in the time of trouble. What did Job 5 say? That in 6 troubles he shall deliver. No, let me get it quickly. You go through 6 troubles, and then in the 7th he'll save you. You gotta have faith in that, man. Where's Job? Oh yeah, Old Testament. Okay, Job 5. I'm just gonna get that key part. Yeah, that's the part right there, man. That's the part right there. He shall deliver thee. Job 5 and 19. He shall deliver thee. So Yahweh Shem Yashai will deliver us in 6 troubles. Yea, in 7 there shall no evil touch thee. 6 troubles as well. 6 represents really Esau, Edom, man. So whatever trouble Esau, Edom is going to bring, or even the troubles of which Yahweh Shem Yashai will bring as well, in terms of judgments or whatnot, that's for the wicked. Now it says in Job 5 and 19 again, it says, yea, in 7, which means completion, there shall no evil touch thee. So Yahweh Shem Yashai has ordained that his saints are not going to be touched with evil, man. And we have to have faith in these precepts. That's why Psalms 119 verse 4 says, meditate upon the precepts diligently. Because those will actually help to form the belief and to also re-solidify, I've said that for quite a bit in this video, solidify our faith, man. So yeah, that's the point. All these scriptures here, man, we got to have faith in them. The spiritual power, you got to be able to visualize it. Might even do another video on visualization. But you got to be able to visualize it, man, based on what Apostle Gabar made recently. As I said, man, that was a very beautiful video, man. So yeah, us being able to eat during the famine, being protected from the scourge of the tongue, which is Esau, Edom, bringing false accusations or whatnot. to us, to the prophets of Yahweh Shem Yahshai, for us to be cool in the time where everyone else is going to be destroyed and in a chaotic mind state, man. Stressing, but us, through faith, we're going to be cool, man. Now, of course, we're going to go through whatever affliction we go through, but we have faith, which will then comfort us in those afflictions. That's the point. So, yeah, man, that's really the point. I went on a little tangent there, but let me get the other videos too. Yeah, I mentioned about, I'm not even sure if I even mentioned it, but yeah, there's a China earthquake and a winter storm, and in America that's going on. So it's not just America, but it's also in UK. It's touching UK for a bit, and some other countries too. So yeah, Judgment's ramping up. Yahweh Shem Yahshai is ramping up the attacks, man, upon Esau Edom as well. Remember, as Apostle Tahar deemed it, the hopeful year of deliverance, the hopeful year of destruction, and the hopeful year of Esau's judgment. That's the point. So all of this is part of it, man. Now let me begin with let's do the China one, man. You already mentioned, there's California fires going on. Let's see, thousands total abandoned Los Angeles homes and 3 wildfires ripped 3 suburbs. We'll start from this. We'll start from the China one. Okay, my volume.
Rescue workers in Tibet are working round the clock to search for survivors after a major earthquake killed at least 126 people. The magnitude 7.1 quake struck at around 9 a.m. local time on Tuesday. The impact was felt across the Shigatse region of Tibet, although tremors were also felt in Nepal and parts of India. A large-scale rescue operation has been launched with survivors under additional pressure as temperatures as low as minus 16 degrees Celsius overnight. Chinese state media reported that around 3,000 buildings had been destroyed, leaving thousands of people without shelter. Residents are afraid to enter some buildings left standing as aftershocks continue. Well, earlier I got the latest from exiled leader of the Tibetan government, Pempa Tsering.
The only source of information is the Chinese government agencies, whatever they report. So it's very difficult to verify the number of casualties of people who have succumbed.
Yeah, it says that at least 126 killed in deadly Tibet earthquake, man. So yeah, that's a whole load of judgment, man. Mob's getting their judgment too. It's not just Edom too, but these heathens, they're gonna get a taste of destruction as well, man. Remember, it's Esau's judgment, destruction, and it says our deliverance, as Apostle Tahar, mentioned, man. So yeah, let's continue.
Injuries, people who are injured, how many have been taken out of those places for medical attention. So all these information is still not very clear because we do not have direct access to information inside Tibet apart from families who are reaching out because it's very close to Nepal, and many families in that region also live in Nepal. So that is also one source of information for us. But otherwise, it's very difficult to confirm. And the weather conditions, as you can imagine, the earthquake where it happened, the epicenter, Tingri, and the surrounding areas of Tingel, Hase, Sakya, Nyalam, and Amrim. These are other smaller localities around that. All are at an elevation of more than 4,000 meters above sea level, which should be about 14,000, 15,000 feet above sea level. And temperatures go minus degrees around this time of the year. So people are having a lot of problem having to be relocated, and some more than 30,000 people have been relocated so far, it seems, according to government agencies of the Republic of China.
And of course, you live in exile away from Chinese rule there in Tibet. But what do you make of the Chinese government's response so far to this earthquake? Of course, I understand you have limited information at the moment.
It looks like there is the government has sent in or making good enough effort to save people's life. and a lot of local Tibetans also from the surrounding areas, and also Muslim communities are also coming together to provide shelter and food for people who are surviving. So it looks like everybody is putting in their concerted effort to save people.
And of
Yeah, man. Moab's getting treated right there. Moab is getting treated. You know, this be the precept based upon Moab as well. Let's get to the point. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna just read the key point really. Let's read from 3 to 5. So Jeremiah 48 and 3 to 5. A voice of crying shall be from Horonaim, spoiling and great destruction. Moab is destroyed. Her little ones have caused a cry to be heard. For in the going up of Luhith, continual weeping shall go up, for in the going down of Horonaim, the enemies have heard a cry of destruction. So yeah, Moab is still going to be in a stressed out state, man. They're going to be in a really stressed out state. So their judgment is coming for them too. You know, Ishmael as well, and all these other nations too, who had their hand in really afflicting Israel. So yeah, Moab's going to get it, man. Moab's going to get it. And let's get to this one. Alright, let's see.
A huge wildfire is burning through thousands of acres in California, with tens of thousands of people evacuated from their homes. This is the scene live in Pacific Palisades, a neighborhood in...
You know, you could also perceive it. I mean, obviously, California, I've heard quite a few. They normally get wildfires as well. Though, the thing is, you could also perceive it as, you know, just a warm-up to Babylon's destruction, man. You know, just like lighting the match before you actually get the actual fire. This is what this can be likened onto, man. With all these wildfires going on. You know, it's like the Most High's lighting the match just a little bit. Like a warm-up for Babylon before the actual nuclear missile destruction, which would be the actual fire, man. Which will cause a whole landmass of destruction of America, man. See, the whole landmass of America being destroyed with nuclear missiles.
Hills near Santa Monica in Los Angeles, where we've seen pictures of burning cars, destroyed buildings as the fire swept through. Local firefighters say the conditions are as bad as they get, with gusts of winds of up to more than 100 kilometers per hour, fanning the flames from 10 acres to almost 3,000 in a matter of hours. The White House says President Biden is being briefed on the situation, whilst the governor of California has warned fires there no longer are seasonal, but a year-round threat. With more, here's our LA correspondent, Emma Vardy.
A year-round threat, man. So, you know, with the continuation of the wildfires, that's just going to add on to the heat of those nuclear missiles upon Babylon, man. And Yara Tazar, you know, between 2025 and Yara Tazar, before even 2026 even hits, you know, that these, the nuclear missiles would have already been sent, man. You know, because with that alone, you know, it means the prophecies are going to be happening quickly. You know, the MOTB, you know, with the chip implant, you know, just to say it out there for those who don't know, you know, and yeah, my process is just going to be one after the other. It's like, okay, MOTB's happened, you know, the nuclear missiles already being prepped to being sent to America. You could already see how the nations are going to say, okay, let the weak say I am strong. You know, let the weaker nations say they're strong against America. You could already see all that happening, man. The signs will be there, man. And they're here. They are here. Now, there's a lot of things going on as well, man. You know, judgment, destruction. And yeah, it's all according to what Apostle Tahar deemed it as well, man. You know, the whole fear of our deliverance, you know, and also destruction, as well as Esau's judgment, man. So all that's going to happen. You're going to start seeing Edomites getting judged in a low level. And also, them elite Edomites, man, their judgment is also coming for them too, especially through America being destroyed. And all these other heathen nations, they're going to get a taste on that destruction. I remember, it's not just the other nations, because remember, judgment starts at the house of the Most High. So you got to remember, man, Jake going to get sufferings too. So this year is going to be a hell of a year, man. That's why fear is going to be turned up, man. Fear of Yahweh Shem Yahshai will be turned up. Now, what precept was I even going to get? Okay, Amos 5. Amos 5 and 19, isn't it? Amos 5 and 19. So, yeah. So Amos 5 and 18 to 19. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahshai. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. You know, it's going to be a gloomy day for people, man. Especially them Christians, you think that, you know, their idol is going to come, their idol, Jesus Christ, is going to come down. No. When you see Yahushua come down, you going to remember everything the prophets were telling you about Yahushua being a so-called black man. So-called, I said. Black man, because you know they ain't no such a person as a black person, man. You know, yeah, I'm looking at the PS4 controller right now. Just look at the PS4 controller. You know, the black one. You know, there's no person that's that black, man. You know, it's dark brown and different shades of brown. But anyways, so verse 19, as if a man did flee from a lion, and a bear met him, and went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit him. That's how this year gonna be feeling, Yara Tazama. That's how it's gonna be feeling. It's gonna be one thing saying, you got the fires, you got people dying from airplanes as well. You got people getting stabbed up in buses, you know, over here in the UK. You got people driving trucks, just ramming vessels, sending them back to the spiritual realm, spirits of vengeance lurking. You know, these spirits are hyper aware right now, man, to appease the wrath of him that made them. So that's how it's going to feel, you know, from one thing to another. You know, people getting judged left, right, center. And then you're going to have famine, you know, put in there. You know, the stores closing down. Then you're going to start seeing the place looking like the book of Eli, man. You know, I'll probably watch that eventually again too, man. You know, where the place is just destroyed, be looking like flipping Syria or Afghanistan, you know, with them places. You know, as brother said, it's going to look worse than that. You know, worse than that. So yeah, that's going to be a real time of faith, man, to be tested. Especially, obviously, the major one being the MOTB. And of course, onwards from that as well is really to endure to the very end. You know, of all these conditions, to maintain faith in Yahweh Shem Yahushai. So yeah, man, as if a man, Amos 5 and 19, as if a man did flee from a lion, you know, that's one trouble. And a bear met him, that's the second trouble. And went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit him. That's the third trouble. Yeah, so you got to have understanding in these times, man, you know. You got to have understanding and faith in these times, man. Believe that Yahweh Shem Yahshai will protect us, you know, as, you know, the 2/3 are being cleaned out, man. The reason why I say that, because there's a thing about fear, you know, we really shouldn't be fearing, because we have the ultimate reasoning that Yahweh Shem Yahshai has provided us. Should be around 12 or something. Yeah. It says here, hold on. Wisdom of Solomon 17 and 12. For fear is nothing else but a betraying of the succours which reason offereth. Succours means aid, help, which reason offereth. For one to be able to reason, which means you're able to think in order to make correct decisions, you know, you got to have the scriptural knowledge, you know, which is obviously the knowledge of Yahweh Shem Yahshai. You got to have the fear of Yahweh Shem Yahshai. You got to have faith as well. So when it says fear, for fear is nothing else but a betraying. You know, it's the opposition against the help which reason offereth, man. So really, as we meditate upon the precepts diligently, as Psalms 119 verse 4 says, the fear of the world, the fear of Esau, even the fear of demons, should be non-existent, or it should be completely diminished and eliminated, man. Because our faith and our help comes from Yahweh Hashem Yahshua, and when we reason with the scriptures. That's how we reason. Now it says in verse 13, Wisdom of Solomon 17 and 13, and the expectation from within being less counteth the ignorance more than the cause which bringeth the torment. So typically, when you're just overthinking, which I this is obviously for me as well, because sometimes I may overthink things too. Bro's got their different situations, man. But it says, and the expectation from within. So what you think about within being less. So typically what that precept means, Wisdom of Solomon 17 and 30, it means when you fear something and you overthink something, typically the actual situation is far less than the imagination in itself. That's what that precept means. The expectation from within, so what you think what would happen, being less is actually, far less worse, or what's the word? Is being over exaggerated, counteth the ignorance more than the cause which bringeth the torment. So of course it's the overthinking, the fearful thoughts, of which are more tormenting than the actual incident that's about to happen or has happened. So yeah, that's a little something on fear, man. That's why we gotta maintain faith. We gotta maintain faith out here. This was another precept based upon fear as well. How we ought to deal with it. And that's why we shouldn't really fear these things. As I mentioned, Esau, Edom, the destruction to come, nor the demonic spirits which try to hinder your faith, man. So this is why. So let's I'm gonna skip a few lines. I've already highlighted them to get to the point. Actually, I'll read from verse 1 to about verse 10. Yeah, verse 1 to 10, Yaratazar. So Ecclesiasticus 40, verse 1 to 10. Great travail is created for every man, and every yoke in upon the sons of Adam, from the day that they go out of their mother's womb till the day they return to the mother of all things, which is can be regarded as earth. Their imagination of things to come, and the day of death trouble their thoughts and cause fear of heart. Imagination, man. That's the thing. As we read in Wisdom of Solomon 17, verse 12 to 13. I think, it should be 12 to 13. Around those verses there. But it's in Wisdom of Solomon 17, verse around 12 to 13, something like that. Yeah, the imagination, man. Typically the imagination causes more torment than the actual incident of which would happen, man. It says Ecclesiasticus 40 and 2, the imagination of things to come and the day of death trouble their thoughts and cause their fear of heart. From him that sitteth on the throne of glory, unto him that is humbled in earth and ashes, from him that weareth purple and a crown, unto him that's clothed with a linen frock. So of course, those of whom are rich, those of whom are poor, they still get these thoughts as well. So wrath and envy, trouble and quietness, and unquietness, fear of death, and anger and strife, and in the time of rest upon his bed, his night sleep do change his knowledge. So of course, when you actually sleep, is that you forget about all these thoughts, man. You just rest, man. The Most High allows you to have that, little moment of rest, So yeah, it says in verse 6, a little or nothing is his rest. A little or nothing is his rest. So, you may get a few hours of sleep. Some brothers may get the full 8 hours occasionally as well. A little or nothing is his rest. And afterward, he is in his sleep, as in a day keeping watch, troubled in the vision of his heart, his mind, as if he were escaped out of a battle. So yeah, wait, hold on. It says, let me read that again. A little or nothing is his rest, and afterward he is in his sleep, as in a day of keeping watch, troubled in the vision of his heart, as if he were escaped out of a bottle, man. So of course the mind is still troubled, man, even prior to sleep. Sometimes even during the sleep it can be troubled, man. But yeah, it says in verse 7, when all is safe, he awaketh and marveleth that the fear was nothing. See? The fear was nothing, you know, as the Wisdom of Solomon 17 and 12 talks about, the fear is nothing but the betrayal of the succors of which reason, reason aideth, something like that. You know, which reason bringeth. Man, you bring out that precept again. Let me actually see that. Actually, hold on. So I can get here and there. Wisdom of Solomon 17 and verse 12. 17 and verse 12. For fear, it says, for fear is nothing else but the betraying of the succors, the help, the aid, which reason offereth. That's the thing. So it says, when all is safe, he awaketh and marveleth that the fear was nothing. And that's what it is, man. Fear was nothing. The fear of the world is nothing. The fear of Esau Edom was nothing. Because we got Yahweh Shem Yashai, our whom has more power than them at the end of the day. And our faith is in Yahweh Shai. So verse 8, Ecclesiasticus 40 and verse 8, such things happen unto all flesh, both men and beasts, that is sevenfold more upon sinners. So it means that it happens to everyone, but sevenfold, which means it's multiplied way more for sinners, which means they're going to be stressful. You know, those of whom transgress against Yahweh Shem Yahshai. Now, this is the key part really I want to get. Verse 9 and verse 10. It says here, Ecclesiasticus 40, also known as Sirach 40, verse 9 to 10, death and bloodshed, strife and sword, calamities, famine, tribulation, and the scourge, these things are created for the wicked, and for their sakes came the flood, man. You know, that's reference to, you know, during the time of Noah when the Most High cleaned out the place with water, man. Now it's going to be fire pertaining to Babylon. So yeah, all these things, death, bloodshed, man. And you know what this literally what the video is about. Layers of judgment. You know, we've seen the death, the bloodshed, the reports upon death, bloodshed, you know, reports upon the sword, you know, different calamities happening, man. You know, famine, you know, the Ukrainian conflict is still going on, Ukraine and Russia, Syrian conflict as well. You know, and then famine, tribulation, and scourge, that's what's coming soon as well, man. You know, at a higher level, I'm talking about scourge, you know, as against the prophets, man. As I mentioned in Job 5, Yahweh shall save us from the scourge of the tongue. But, you know, all these prophecies are coming out, man. It's just going to be severe. All right, so that's really the point right there. That's why we shouldn't be fearing these things. Despite these things are happening, we've got to have faith in Yahweh Shai that he will protect us, man. This is for sinners and for those of whom are wicked to fear. That's why we've got to do these works, you know, the Yahweh Shai has commanded us, and then we'll be fine. You know, that will help us in maintaining faith as well, doing the works, as well as having that innate belief as well within the precepts. When the scriptures say faith without works is vain, hence why we also do these works as well. You know, but at the end of the day, it's grace and truth coming from Yahweh Shai. That's how we're going to be saved, man. All right, so that's the color. Let me actually see if there's more on the California wildfire.
Correspondent Emma Vardy.
The fire exploded at astonishing speed. The combination of dry conditions and strong winds causing the fire's rapid spread. People evacuating began to leave their cars and escape on foot. Emergency services eventually bulldozed some 200 abandoned vehicles to clear the roads. The Pacific Palisades area is home to luxury properties and celebrity homes. At least 30,000 residents were told to leave.
My heart is in my throat, but we're okay as long as the firefighters said there's a ambulance to take us out. But this is like right at my doorstep.
We've been watching these huge plumes of smoke rising and the flames flickering over the mountains behind us. Now, people in California are used to wildfires and strong winds at this time of year, but this one is more unusual because of how quickly it spread and the fact it's so close to a densely populated area. Thousands of buildings were in danger of being engulfed by flames as emergency services tried to keep people safe. It's not yet clear how widespread the damage is to properties, but some homes have been destroyed and several other fires have also been burning. While the strong winds continue, there's warnings across California that more wildfires may start. Emma Vardy, BBC News, Los Angeles.
And
the thing is, even with Yahba Shimashai using the chariots as well, the Alahayim, the angels, they can literally just, go into small mode, morph the chariot so that it's a little tiny where it's unnoticeable, and then just laser up the ground in order to start the fire, man. These things can happen, man. To the heathen, they can't comprehend. But for us, we know that these things are, easily can happen. So that's just that point on the wildfires, man. You got wildfires at one end of America, and then you got flipping winter storms that are happening right now, man, in another side of America.
More than 60 million Americans are in the grip of a huge winter storm that could bring More than 60 million Americans are in the grip of a huge winter storm that could bring the heaviest snow and lowest temperatures in a decade. Several inches of snow have been dumped on eastern parts of the US. It's all part of a polar vortex sweeping down from the Arctic.
Yeah, you got northeast, south. You got on the western side. California is on the western side of America, of USA. And then you got the eastern side as well. That's where you got like Manhattan and New York and whatnot. They're going to be experiencing this stuff, man. Well, around that area, not to say that those are the specific states, but it says the eastern side of America, man. So, just go look out for that.
Missouri, Kansas, and Kentucky are among those declaring a
Yeah, she just mentioned it. Missouri, Kansas, Kentucky, some of the states out there.
State of emergency. Graham Satchell reports.
The snow is heavy, thick, and relentless. This is St. Joseph, Missouri, where blizzard conditions have brought much of the state to a standstill. Tens of millions of Americans are bracing themselves for what's predicted to be the heaviest snowfall and coldest temperatures in more than a decade. Travel has been badly affected. This is Louisville Airport in Kentucky. Across the states, thousands of flights have been cancelled or delayed. Conditions on the road have been described as treacherous with snow and ice, causing major problems.
This roadway is very slick, very, very slick. So let me get some traction here and watch my feet here. Ready for this? That's what we're dealing with out here, and it's not getting any better, it's getting worse.
The weather people are calling this a polar vortex, freezing conditions brought down from the Arctic. In Kansas, the temperature is forecast to get down to minus 29 degrees Celsius.
When you get these sub-zero temperatures, at least sub-zero wind chills, we know that can have a negative impact not just on our workforce.
Yeah, man. You see, you got one side, you got a little humor from the most side right there, man, from Yahba Shim Yahshai. Because you got one side of America, it's under heat. And you got another side of America which is handling cold, man. Literally quite opposites. Western is heat, is hot, and the eastern side is cold, man. As I mentioned, the states, Missouri, Kentucky, and I think there was a third one as well. But the point is, there's a lot of stuff happening. There's a lot of stuff happening out here, man. A lot of stuff happening. So anyways, this is the part 2. Yaratazar, I need to do like one more vid based on like what's it called, the death fog. That's from another channel. Full spectrum survival. Certain brothers watching. But Yaratazar, I need to do a third video on that. And yeah, I'll just end it off there. So yeah, Shalom, Yahba Shim Shai, Brakatha, and Yaratazar, that you're edified and you've understood the video, man. And the video's charged you up as well. So yeah, Kal Halalim La, Yahba Shim Yahshai, Bashim Kudash, and double honest greatness and apostles. Thawdi Yashar, Brak the Yashar for the strength once more to do this video. And Shalom.